I'm Steven Hann from Archery Supplies. I'm here to do a review on the new 2015 Martin Lithium LTD, which is this bow. Martin Archery has made lots of changes in 2015. In 2014, it was taken over by a new owner, Rich Witherford, from the Martin family, and he set about making lots of changes to the company. And Martin wanted to take their brand to be one of the major players in the archery industry. And for 2015, we're seeing those changes flow through on these new bows. I've already done a review on the bottom of the range bow called the Krypton, which I thought was awesome. The Martin Afflictor, which is the mid-range bow, the $550, $600 bow, which was fantastic. This is the next bow up in the range. This is the Martin Lithium LTD. This bow is basically an $800 Australian bow. In America, it'd be about $600. I mean, you can look up the prices, but basically it's a bit above the medium range price bow, but not top of the range price bow. Now, what you've got here with this bow is a fantastic bow. Now, everyone says that in a review, but I'll tell you why this is fantastic. It shoots 345 feet per second. Now, where that is placed, this bow in the market, is the cheapest bow that shoots 345 feet per second in the market. 345 feet per second IBO is normally top of the range bow in any make, and you're talking a $1,000 bow. This bow is down from that, so you're talking a bow which is 20% down on the top of the range bow. Now the question is the quality 20% down? And I'll just talk through this bow. And the answer short, if you don't want to watch the rest of the video, is no, it's not. This bow is top class, and we'll just go through what makes this bow top class. We'll start with some basic statistics. 345 feet per second, 32-inch axle-axle. Now, what 32 inches axle-axle is a standard hunting bow. All your top-of-the-range hunting bows are 32 inches axle-axle, and that's exactly what this is. You've got a brace height, which is the distance from there to there, of 6.5. 6.5 is very generous. Most of the companies are running around 6s. So to get 345 feet per second out of a 6.5-inch brace height is very good. The cam system Martin are using on this bow, the Lithium LTD, is a hybrid cam. Now that's pretty much the same cam as you'll see on the top of the range PSE, like the PSE DNA, and the top of the range Hoyt. So at the top you've got a yoke, which balances the wheel, and at the bottom you've got basically a cam system. There's no yoke down the bottom. You've got twin draw stops, which actually touch the limb on the top and at the bottom, there and there. Now that's an improvement on the PSE and the Hoyt. What PSE and Hoyt do, and PSE now do have a limb stop on their DNA SP, they normally touch the cables. And when you touch the cables, you can get a bit of movement. When it touches the limbs, you can't get any movement. So the draw stop, as you draw it back, it locks into place. So it locks in, and you're not getting any of the creeping you'll get with a softer bow, especially when you wind the bow down. With bows where they touch the cables, because the cables aren't under a lot of tension, you get a bit of rocking. As soon as it touches the limbs, rock solid. So that's what you've got on this cam system. You've got quad limbs, which is pretty standard on all top of the range bows, and that's to try and reduce the cam lean on the bow. Some things about this bow: on your Hoyts, so your top of the range Hoyt hybrid cams, you've got modules to change to adjust the draw length. This is a rotating module, top and bottom. Now PSE have got two types of hybrid cam, one where you've got to adjust the cam at the top and one where you've got to adjust it at the bottom. One where you adjust it top and bottom, and one where you just adjust it at the bottom. This is like the second, so it's like the top of the range Hoyt PSE. It's got a rotating cam which you've got to adjust top and bottom. It's got letters from A to J here, and it should have matching letters on the bottom, which it does, from A to J. And you'll see the little dots. This is currently set on letter F at the top, and it should be letter F at the top and at the bottom. This bow is adjustable from 26.5 inches to 30.5 inches. You don't need a bow press to adjust the draw length, so there's no part of the cable touching the module. So it's just a simple matter of adjusting these two screws and rotating that module into the correct hole. Then you also have to adjust the draw stop top and bottom so they hit at the same time. So to me, this cam system is very similar to a PSE top of the range like DNA SP, with the difference of the draw stops, which is a bit different. You've got a string dampener here. This bow to me is a bit like a cross between your top of the range Hoyt and your top of the range PSE. You've got a bridge riser here. Now what this is, they take a solid piece of steel and they machine it out. What the bridging here does, it adds extra strength to the riser. So your weak spot on a riser is your grip here. This is the point here that takes all the pressure. By putting a bridge here, it increases the strength of the riser. So you get less movement of the riser, less chance the riser will break. Risers are pretty good these days. So to me, that's not really an issue. What is good about this bow? Well, there's lots of things that are good. You've got machine limb pockets, dampeners. You've got 3 dampeners in the riser, 1, 2, 3. To me, this is a huge improvement over the Lithium of 2014. And even though it shares the name of the Lithium 2014, it's a vast improvement. It's faster, the quality is up, and to me, it's a better bow in many, many ways. So the machining of it's different. It's a far superior product to me, to the Lithium. Nothing wrong with the Lithium of last year. It's a nice shooting bow. But this bow, to me, if you're going to buy a top-of-the-range bow, like a bow which shoots 345 feet per second, so you're into 3D archery, into hunting, even into target archery, this bow, to me, it's faster, it's more solid, the cams are improved, the machine's improved, the quality's improved, everything's improved on this product. The grip here, last year they used a leather thing. One of my viewers said this is microfiber. They said this is very, very tough, and they said you will not see any wear on it. It's like a little bit spongy, but it's not spongy, and it's like a grippy kind of feel to it, but your hands don't stick to it, but your hands aren't going to slide. Now what you find on a lot of the risers, if it's a hot day or you're feeling a bit of pressure, you're in a hunting situation, you've been walking, it's a warm day, your hands are sweaty, your bow will slide around, and if it's a tournament day, your hands are going to slide around. This grip here, your hands won't slide. They'll sit in place, which will just make you more accurate. To me, it's a nice finish. Martin have got rid of the wood inlays, they're now rubber here. So overall, to me, this is a beautiful, beautiful product. It comes in 3 finishes. This is the chameleon, which is dark at the top and lighter at the bottom. The theory of this is, if you're hunting out of a tree stand or a ground blind, you have differences in light between top and bottom, and the chameleon kind of accounts for that. To me, it's just a cool finish. It's still camo at the top, but it's a darker camo. It's the same camo top and bottom, but it kind of looks black at the top and looks camo at the bottom, if you can see that. And to me, it's a very nice finish. It comes also in black, which this is not a lithium, but it's the black finish. It's a black carbon, and it also comes in camo. I would like, if you're a Martin dealer, or if you're from Martin, I would like this bow in colours as well. I just think colours, you don't sell a lot of coloured bows, but I think offering this bow in colours, it'd be an awesome target bow. So for 3D shooting, for people shooting targets, it'd be an awesome bow. So if this bow was available in a nice like reds, blues, whites, yellows, I think that'd be awesome. Green would be awesome in a green. So that's what I would like Martin to do. If you're a dealer, please tell Martin you'd like the same thing, and hopefully if enough of us ask, they'll do it. Some other quick things I want to jump on with this bow, which I just forgot. You've got on the limbs here, you've got these little buttons on the limbs. That increases the strength of the limb. And there was one other thing I wanted to point out, which I forgot, but I'm sure I'll remember as I go. Now, when I look at this bow, and if I'm a customer wanting to buy a bow, I've got to say what bows are on the market that are comparable to this bow. Now, you've got your $400 line, which is your beginner line. Then you go to your $550, $600 line, which is the afflictor. Those bows shoot about 320. This bow shoots 345 feet per second. It weighs 3.8 pounds, so it's quite a light bow. And it's $800. So a couple $100 more, and you're picking up 20 feet per second. You're picking up the bridge riser, which is a lot more machining for Martin. So basically this riser is going to take twice as much time to produce as the afflictor. A lot more metal involved. So I understand why it's got a better cam system than the afflictor. So I understand why this bow is more expensive. But to me, it's quite underpriced compared to its rivals. And what I want to do is I want to compare a bow, same price by another company. So you can have you can decide how this sits in the marketplace. To me, it's really a question about how much money you're going to spend when you buy a bow. Whether you're going to spend $400, $600 or $800 or $1,000, and about what's the best value for money. So I want to look at the bow, which I think is the closest to this bow. This is the Hoyt Charger. It's the same price as the Martin Lithium. Now, axle size, the Charge is a little bit shorter. It's a cast riser on this bow. This is a machined riser. What a cast riser is, they pour it into a mould. It's cheaper to produce and not as strong. It's a bridge riser, like the Lithium. The Hoyt Charger requires modules. So if you want to change your draw length from 28 to 28.5, you've got to buy a new set of modules. They're going to cost you about $45, $50 Australian. It has, for draw stops, it's got little draw stops on the cam, top and bottom. The top one you can't adjust, the bottom one you can. It's some things about this bow. The limb pockets on this bow. So this is an $850 bow. So this is an $850 bow. What you've got here is a limb pocket. It's made out of plastic. The thing the limbs sit on, the limb pivots or whatever you want to call it, made out of plastic. The finish is quite good. Like, it's a powder coat finish, and the camo is very much the same. This is a black. And you may argue one way or the other this is better than the black of the Martin or worse than the black of the Martin, and I don't really care which way you argue it. The bow is not as fast as the Martin Lithium. I think this bow is shooting 320 feet per second, but please check that up, and I'll post what it is because I'll look it up after I finish the video. You're getting a plastic grip here, which is quite comfortable. But like I said, if your hand's sweating, you're going to get a bit of movement here. So for the difference between the Hoyt and the Lithium, similar cam system, you'll see the cams are much larger in the Martin than the Hoyt, so that means more speed. Talking machine riser, cast riser, limb stops on the Martin, metal machine limb pockets on the Martin. The bow's the same price. So to me, I actually couldn't think of another $800 bow I could compare this to besides the Hoyt. And I'm sure PSE have got them, but with PSE they don't really, what sells is the drive, the Stinger, which is 400, 450, 550, and then it really jumps up to the DNA, $1,000 bow. And I could compare this to a $1,000 bow, but it's an extra $200. And I thought to myself, when I'm doing this review, do I really want to compare an $800 bow to $1,000? And I could. They're very, very similar. The DNA is about the same sort of speed as this, 345. It's a couple $100 more. It's the same weight, same speed. The balance is good on both bows. You'll see Martin this year have got the compression limbs. Not as much as a PSE, but pretty good. The balance on this bow, just with my hand open, is perfect. It's a pretty good bow. The DNA, you're paying for a few other little things, a flexible cable guard, maybe a little bit more technology, but to me, this bow is comparable to it. So if I was looking at the DNA and I wanted to compare another bow, I'm not putting anything on the DNA, I own a DNA, I think DNA is one of the best bows ever made. I won bow of the year, and I won bow of the year for a reason. But this, to me, the new Martin Lithium LTD, has got to challenge it for a top of the range bow. It should be considered if you're looking at a top of the range bow. You save $200. What this comes with, this is the Martin kit. It's got a copper john 3-pin sight. It comes with a whiskey biscuit RRS. It comes with a stabilizer. It comes with a sling. Comes with a peep. And the peep you have to tie in. Martin don't tie it in. Comes with a D loop. And also comes with a bow quiver. I think the kit's about $100 more. But look that up. So you'll still need a release aid and you'll still need some arrows to shoot this bow. But it's not a bad little kit. Like the sight's nothing to write home about. Like it's solid, it's plastic, it's got a nice orange ring here. Like it's fine. I'd be happy to shoot this bow just the way it is. Although I like this bow, so I'd actually fit some better stuff to it. I'd fit a better sight to it, and I'd be inclined to have a better quiver, or I tend to shoot a hip quiver, but it's a great bow. We're going to go and shoot this bow. I'm going to do some slow motion video on this bow so you can see the vibration off this, and we can do a speed test on it to see what sort of speed we get. But Martin Lithium LTD, we've compared it to the other bows. I think the price point on this bow is on the money. And to me, selling bows, it's really going to, for a customer buying bow, they've really got to decide, am I going to go spend $400 on the Krypton, $550 on the Afflictor, or am I going to go $800 and go for this? It's twice the price of the Krypton, but you're talking top of the range bow. There's nothing compromised on this bow. If you rock up in a club with this bow, you're competitive to anyone with $1,000, $1,200 Matthews Chill. It's a pretty good product. So we're going to go and shoot this bow. I like this bow a lot. I like the Afflictor, and I would consider buying this bow. I really like it. It's a bow I would shoot a lot. So we're going to have a shot and see what you think. Thanks. A shot. It's a pretty windy day, so hopefully the sound's not too bad. We'll have a shot. You can see what the bow sounds like. So to start off with, the hand grip's really nice, feels good. The draw cycle, it's very solid to start with. I can't really feel it building up. Now I'm getting to the valley. The valley sort of starts about there, and it's still dropping, and then it's dead stop because you're hitting the limb stop. I'll just let this down. Martin, you're using a 1/4 inch peep sight, which is about the right size for this housing here. So the draw cycle is very smooth, but it starts off quite solid. So it starts building up basically as soon as you draw this bow back. And it's basically the same draw weight until it starts dropping off, and you've almost got an inch worth of valley which gradually drops off. It's not a sudden drop off, so it's very smooth. I want to mention about these new Ghost cams. You'll see the groove here is very large. That stops people derailing their bows. So if you torque the bow, which a lot of beginners do, what they do is they pull the string off the cam. So if you grip the bow and you're drawing it back, you can actually pull the string off the cams. That bends over the cams and causes all sorts of problems. The larger groove here stops that. So still don't do it. Shoot with your hand open, 45-degree knuckles, and you'll never have a problem. And for God's sake, always shoot with an arrow on the bow. Dry firing is never good. So we draw this bow back. I find the draw cycle really nice. It holds really well. It doesn't want to rip out my things. It doesn't torque. The grip is as good as I've ever shot out of any bow. Now that's the shot. there's no vibration. The noise that you'll hear, you're in a kind of an alley here. You'll hear the arrow hit, but I don't hear any noise out of the bow. Is it the quietest bow I've shot? The Matthews no cam is probably quieter. This is good, like really nice to shoot. There's no vibration, the bow doesn't move. We'll have a couple more shots and we'll shoot it from different shots and you can have a shot again with it. Okay, so that first shot I shot, the speed I got through the chrono was 270 feet per second. It's not as much as I was expecting. I was expecting faster. So we'll just have another shot. So this is the second shot. I got 269 feet per second. But the bow is just extremely nice to shoot. We'll have a shot from behind. There's no movement in my hand with the bow. It's just lovely to shoot. It's honestly one of the better bows I've ever shot. And that's, I've shot the Matthews Chill, which is fantastic. I've shot the DNAs, which is awesome. I've got the Matthews Alien, which is a great bow to shoot, but I actually prefer this than the Martin Alien. The grip, just everything about this bow, it just feels so easy to shoot. So we'll shoot it from behind and have another couple of shots. Okay, I got 272 feet per second. To me, all my bows are 60 pound when I shoot. This bow is 60 pound, and it feels to me to be, it feels light. It's so smooth. I could shoot this bow easily at 70 pound. So the speed I was expecting, probably 280s, 290s out of this bow. I could definitely wind this bow up because I feel no pressure on my shoulder. I normally shoot 60 pound because I feel pressure on my shoulder when I shoot. I don't feel anything with this bow when I shoot it. It's really nice. Another thing I want to talk about, when you choose a bow company, like when you choose a bow you want to shoot, you're backed with a lifetime warranty. So if ever this bow breaks, if you have a problem, you return it to who you brought it from, and the company then provides the parts to fix it. Now, you may not be thinking about this when you're buying a bow, but it's a lifetime warranty. So in 5 years' time, if you've got this bow and you break a limb, you do a cam, and you think, that won't occur to me, well, I do about 2 to 3 sets of cams a week at least. So for me, I'm doing, in a year, maybe 150 sets of cams. Now, I sell a lot of bows. Like PSE, I sell, I think it's about 1,200, 1,300 PSEs a year. I'm selling a lot of Martin bows now. I'm actually the biggest dealer in the world for Martin now, and I've only been doing them 6 months. But lifetime warranty is awesome, so you've got to think about it. Now, what Martin is, it's a smaller bow company, and they look after you and they look after me. If I had a problem with Martin, I would ring up and I get to speak to a person. I speak to the salespeople, the sales manager, I get to speak to the vice president. They all talk to me, they all know me, they've all known me since I was 20, maybe younger. So we've been doing this over 25 years, 30 years. The family's been selling archery gear for. We've known Martin the whole time. They look after you, they always have. So if you're looking at a bow, we deal with most bow companies. The ones I don't deal with for a reason, and it's because they don't look after you. And there's no disrespect to those companies, but there's just not the service if you have a problem. So Martin, one, you don't have too many problems. They've picked up their game. It's a very great bow to shoot. It's a nice bow to shoot. It's a bow that shoots well. The quality's fantastic. The price point is excellent. So check it out, Martin Lithium LTD, new for 2015. Check it out. Thank you.